All right, welcome again. So now we're going to be looking at backup operators. So if we go ahead and we do a whoami/all on a Windows machine here, we can see that we are part of that backup operators group. We can also see that we're part of that backup operators group on the local machine itself, since it's built in. So we should be able to get local administrator on here, privileges. So backup operators, what you can do with that is you can create a disk shadow or robocopy of the C drive. You can't necessarily just copy SAM system and a TDS out of the C drive, but you can make a disk shadow of it, and you can also do a registry save. Okay, so there is a whole script.txt command in your PDF, and I have had that work many, many times before, especially when I can't do registry things. But with this machine, it's actually complete opposite. Okay, you run that script.txt and everything like that, it's actually not going to work. Okay, you actually have to save the registry and the SAM for you to be able to get that backup privilege to actually work. So what we can do with that is we can go ahead and we can just save the registry in SAM, head back over to secrets dump, and we'll go from there. So we can do that, and then we can also save, like I said, the registry, the system in SAM here. So we can do something like that, right? So I can do a dir. I now have SAM and system on this local machine, like right here, utilizing that registry save. Since I have those, I technically don't have domain access, right? I don't have that because this is on the local machine because I'm a backup operator on the local machine. So I won't have domain privileges. However, if the administrator for the local machine and the administrator for the domain is the same, well, then we can utilize that hash and be able to conduct attacks still, right? We still became a domain admin in the end if they're the same. So now we have those two. We have to figure out how we're going to get these two back to Kali. So what we can do is let's hop over into Kali, is we can run an SMB server. Now with this SMB server, I'll show you what happens if you don't put in a username and password. You're going to get an error, right? It's going to say that you're not allowed to do this if you don't put in a username or password, right? So we'll go ahead and we'll start this SMB server like right here. And this is one way to be able to get files from Windows back to Kali. Okay, we'll hit enter here. We have this FMB2 support. What we can do is we go ahead and copy, right? We want to copy, and we want to do 192.168.0.186. Heading back over to Kali over here, we can see that I called the share, and it's sharing to this location like right here, right, this folder, and we turn on SMB2 support. So let's go ahead and say that, and then we're just going to say share, right? So we want to copy, what do we want to copy, right? We want to copy the SAM. We do that, and you can't access share folder because of your organization security policies. Okay? If you ever see that, because the hash is coming through, it's trying to connect, right? If we ever see that, what we can do is we can say attack username, and then put in the username and password of the user that we have. If we're already on the Windows machine, we most likely already have a username and password. Right, you could try maybe command key. If you don't, you could try like command key /list. If you find anything in there, you could try something like a K-list, see if there's any Kerberos stuff going on there. Right, we do have a Kerberos ticket actually opened up like right now for student. Right, there might be another Kerberos ticket in here. You know, you might be able to grab that, pass the ticket. There's different things we could technically do if we just land on here and we didn't have a password. We could start to, you know, kind of look through all different files and things like that, utilizing find commands within PowerShell to try to see is there a password.txt folder or anything like that. But there's a lot of different things we could do. But right now we're just going to go with that we have the password. Okay, now that we have that username and password in there, we do it again. And it should be up and running over here, right? Oh, I never hit enter. Maybe I should hit enter. All right, so we'll go ahead and we'll run that again. And now that I just did that, it's not going to be able to find it. So we're going to say share one maybe. Come back over here and we'll try it with share one. We'll call it that. Because once you get it wrong the first time, it doesn't like to, for some reason, connect again. So we'll try that like right there. Of course. Now it's not going to want to connect. Let's go ahead and try. Yep, okay. So copy SAM into 192.168.0.186 share one. Okay, there we go. So that's how it did copy it. All right, so we said give it a minute, then copy it over. Then we want to do the same exact thing with system, right? So we're going to go ahead and copy system over into it. So now we have SAM and system over on our local machine over here. So now we can utilize secrets dump. So if we type in secrets dump, straight up secrets dump here, we'll see that we can either use a target, right? So we can utilize a username and password at a target address, right? so remotely, or we can also do this locally. So if we already have it on our in our system, in our file system, we can just run it locally. So we do have system, we have SAM, we have both of those. So we can do a secrets dump .py tac SAM, and then say, hey, call for that SAM file that we just downloaded, right? We just called for that. We just got that, right? If I do an ls-tac-la, we just got both of those from the actual file, from the Windows machine with that SMB server we started up. So SAM file, and then system, this is a system file. We're just going to say local. We'll hit enter here. We see that we get some hashes. So now what we should technically be able to do is pass the hash, right? So we should be able to do an exe, SMB, boom. There's pass the hash like right there, right? Go ahead and get rid of that local auth because of how I have this set up. All right, and we can see that we have a shell as an exec on this machine. Right here, right? Logging in as a domain user. So we can technically run this again, secrets dump again with the administrator. I think we might be able to get more. Let's try it. Secrets dump.py. We'll just say administrator. We already had that? Yeah, cyber. Say cyber ranges dot local slash administrator, right? At 192.168.0. I believe it was 134. Stack hashes. And for this one, like right here, we got to put in that guy. We'll hit enter. I think that's the IP address. Boom. And then there we go. Now we have all the domain users hashes out of this domain, like right there. All right, so now we have every single user's hash, boom, 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 and we're looking pretty good, right? We're looking pretty good off here, right? So that is backup operator. Obviously, we want way above and beyond on that one, but that's going to be backup operator. As you can see, we're able to, from your PDF, you can see that you can utilize robocopy and disk shadow, things like that. And a lot of times you can't do a registry save, how I did registry save there. Okay, this machine is complete opposite of what you're usually going to see. So this machine lets you do a registry save, pull that information down, and then send it back to yourself. Really, the hardest part is getting that information back to you. Okay, so hopefully you all learned something, and I'll talk to you all later.